very scary at high speeds.
Australia and New Zealand have led the way in SKYLINE GTR development since the mid-2000s, not just for performance, but parts design and production as well. James Wilden, owner of JT Performance's R32 GT-R, caught our eye while visiting ST Hi-Tec in Auckland, not just because of the 40 PSI number plates, but because it is used a combination of New Zealand and Australian parts. An ANZAC GTR, if you will.
JT Performance primarily focuses in engine looms, wiring and tuning. I like making engine looms and I love tuning cars. The results I get out of some cars is very rewarding and I just enjoy it. I bought this car completely stock standard. My goal was to beat you and go faster than your 992 in your stock bottom end. So the car originally had a stock motor in it. We literally just bolted a set of cams, some springs, a big turbo on the side, and made some grunt. It did 630 kilowatt on the dyno pack that I used just up the road. We were going to go drag racing with it, but we kind of thought it's a little bit unsafe. If it does fly to bits at whatever mile per hour 630 kilowatt's going to do when it goes under the tyres, I'll probably die. So we kind of jumped ship and went to a forged bottom end. With the Precision 7675, it went 9.3 at 153, first pass off the trailer. The 2.6 litre actually never failed. It had a crack in the block like they all do under the oil feed for the turbo. My goal with that motor was to just slide a billet crank into it, but when I went to go buy the Nitto 2.6 crank, I thought, man, like if you're buying a billet crank, you just buy a 3.2. If you want to make grunt, you got to go 3.2. 13 different RB30 blocks sitting in my shop, so I picked a good one, and here it is. ST Hi-Tec gave me a brace to try out and put on the motor. ARP main studs, ARP 625 head studs, Nitto head gasket, Nitto 3.2 rotating assembly with 625 rod bolts, a stock Nissan sump and diff with a aftermarket baffle into it to increase oil capacity, and that's pretty much it for the long block. It's obviously been balanced front to back, Tomai oil pump, ATI pulley on the front as well. Supertech dual valve springs, Tomai titanium retainers, Calford cams, Ferreira 1mm oversized valves, and obviously all the work to suit that. We have got a Precision 8385 sitting on a Hypex Hypertune exhaust manifold. It's got twin 45mm wastegates, both with 22-pounder wastegate spring in them. Hypertune intercooler with custom piping all the way to suit the factory intake manifold that's still intact. Oversized throttle bodies to kind of help things flow, and we haven't seen an issue to change from it yet. This was never supposed to get this carried away. It was always supposed to be a 600, 700 kilowatt 2.6 litre, so we just put a Frenchie's fuel system in the boot, in the tank, twin Walbro 525 fuel pumps, a single dash 8 feed to one side of the rail, and a single dash 8 feed out of the rail into a FPR 2000 rig. No, I wouldn't do it for a customer. For a customer that wants 1350 newton-meters of torque and well over 1,000 horsepower, it's simply not going to be enough headroom. We are at the very brink of the fuel system. So I've got a very good relationship with Hi-Tec. I was actually their top dealer for 2020. So they looked after me with everything I needed for this car. We have got Elite 2500, onboard wideband, fuel pressure, oil pressure, coolant pressure, all the engine protection strategies set up around those parameters to keep this thing together, hopefully. The car has got a PPG sequential 6-speed direct twin plate clutch. And apart from that, all the drivetrain is stock. Stock suspension, stock arms, stock everything. I literally bought a stock GTR, put a motor and box in it, made some grunt, and just go have some fun in it. It is very scary at high speeds. Yeah, it rolls all over the place, but it's sick. It makes it fun to drive. The dyno that I use just up the road is actually a dyno pack from Backyard Developments. I use their dyno all the time, and unfortunately with the 3.2's grunt and torque that it makes, it just shut it down. The most we got into it when the motor was first running and tuned on Tuesday was just under 800 kilowatt and about 1,000 newton-meters of torque. I spoke to Ian Clegg from ST Hi-Tec. Massive shout out to them for giving me the opportunity to put my car on this dyno. The Pro Hub didn't really have much of a say in holding 1,350 newton-meters of torque and 800 kilowatt. I'm pretty happy that we managed to build a car pretty quick and put it together, and it went on the dyno, makes that sort of grunt, and hasn't actually given us a problem. And it made 800 kilowatt on one of your dynos, one of your Aussie dynos, Aussie horsepower, not clickbait.
watched James's car get dynoed the day before the 2021 ST Hi-Tec GT-R Festival New Zealand, so we're excited to see how it went in the racing.
So for the weekend, 800 kilowatt and that torque is going to be plenty. Maybe one day I'll put another pump into it or do something like that and crank it up, but I'm pretty happy with what it's going to do and I'm sure it's going to bring a smile to my face.
James's car was looking strong in the roll racing until a wastegate line split and put the car into boost cut mode. James's gremlins didn't end there, with one of the wastegates leaking, meaning he could only run 18 psi of boost, less than half of normal, but the car still had enough to get the job done and take the win in the drag racing. James took the win and the extra cash bonus from ST Hi-Tec and us here at Modi Video. No doubt he'll be back in 2022 at full capacity to defend his title.